Well, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Yes, we're so excited to have you.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. Thanks for giving us your time.
Yes, of course. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
Muchly appreciated. So if you are new to the show, just make sure you hit that like button or subscribe, leave a couple comments, and make sure you hit that little bell over there to make sure you get notified when we drop a new podcast.
Yes, yes, yes.
So always to my left, we have Cindy, the co-host of the show.
AKA Sancha.
And today, we have another special guest for you guys.
Today, we have Misty.
Hello.
What's up, Misty?
Oh, nothing. How's it going?
Yeah.
Good. I love your shirt.
Thank you. This is my favorite shirt.
Definitely describes Colorado.
Oh, yeah.
I know, right?
I was like, it's true for me all the way around.
All right.
I'm a pothead and garden person.
There we go. There we go. We mix it too.
All right.
Yes.
No, that's cool. Were you born here in Colorado?
I'm a Greeley native,
All right.
which is kind of crappy at some point. I don't know. I don't know why I feel like that about Greeley.
I definitely go back and forth in my mind as well.
Yeah, I don't know. It hits me different sometimes.
It's really not that bad. Like you go to some other towns and it's like, okay, maybe it's not that bad.
Right.
It's really not, but I've always called it a black hole. I've tried to leave multiple times and I just can't. It just sucks me back. I've lived in Aurora, Denver, and it just brings me back all the time. I cannot escape Greeley. It's inevitable.
Do you have family here?
Yes, all my family's here.
Okay.
Yep.
That is the anchor then, I'm assuming.
It is. I have a lot of family. Like my mom's one of 12. My dad's one of 12. I have massive cousins everywhere, and it's just here. It's home.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where I guess I got comfortable is coming back because I had so much family here to help with my kids, and that's honestly the reason why I came back is because my youngest son needed extra help, and I needed extra help. So my mom and my sisters were here. My mom and sisters are both stay-at-home moms, and so they help out a whole lot with a lot of things for me.
How old are your kids?
My oldest is going to be 13 on Halloween. And then my youngest son is 8. He's a St. Patrick's Day baby. So I have holiday babies.
That's pretty cool, honestly.
We also have a St. Patrick's Day fur baby.
Oh, really? Nice.
Yes,
That's Bella's
our
birthday.
Doberman.
Okay. I did not know that.
Yeah.
Nice.
And funny thing about Greeley, it's really embarrassing actually. So I went to California a couple months ago and I was doing this tournament and we found these other guys that were doing this tournament. They were like, oh, I know Colorado. Like, where are you guys from? We were trying not to say Greeley. We're like, oh, we're from Colorado. They're like, oh, I actually went to CU Boulder. I know Colorado. Where are you guys from? We're just like, just like an hour north of Denver.
That's always how you describe it.
They're like,
an hour north of
they're
Denver.
like, okay, but like what town in particular? And we're just like, Greeley. He was just like, the guy literally turned around. He was just like, oh, is that one town that smells like poop all the time?
Yep, that's us.
It's like, yeah. That's Greeley.
You'll know us when you get here.
So.
I know. I think it's so funny too. Like whenever I have family come in town, they're like, as soon as like we pick them up from the airport and we're like driving into town, you just get hit.
Yep.
It's almost that time of year too. So
it is. I was gonna say every time that happens, I don't know if you guys are old enough to remember Montfort's. But Montfort's was JBS before.
Oh,
it was JBS.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna date myself right there. But we always just say Montfort's just opened their doors. Montfort's got the doors open because it's always pretty rough. And then you get Gilchrist.
yeah, it gets real bad there for a while.
Yep.
Right.
A lot of things
But
out there.
it's the smell of money, man. That's what it is.
I guess so.
That's very true, actually.
I guess.
That's a lot of money happening over there.
Right.
That's Greeley's moneymaker.
Right.
Well, it doesn't happen that we have cheese now too, because Leprino's does.
Leprino's, yeah,
Right?
that's really big too. Yeah, honestly, I worked at JBS for like a month.
Yeah,
That's
nice.
hands down probably the hardest job I've ever had in my life.
It's a rough one.
It is. Yeah, it's definitely you're a workhorse for sure if you're working there. So it's it's definitely a weird environment. So
You got further than I did. I only got to the interview part.
Oh yeah, did you do the tour?
I did do the tour.
I tell people all the time. I'm like, if you can literally just take a week off of work, go get hired.
Oh my god.
Just to take the tour.
Yes.
It is the most mind-blowing thing you will ever see.
It's crazy.
They take you through the whole process. So you get hired at this, it's JBS is a meat plant. It's basically, if you're not from the area, it's basically like a big just plant where they, chop up cows, basically. It's like they send it everywhere. It's this really, really big thing out here. So if you get hired out there, the first day they take you on a tour and they show you everything.
Yep.
Literally cows walking off the truck to, a couple minutes later. It's only like 30 minutes later, 45 minutes later. It's in pieces in the fridge, like hanging up. Mm-hmm. And all of it's like conveyor belts. So there's hundreds of people working different lines. Everybody has a specific job. And yeah, as soon as the cow walks in, the whole air gun thing, they chain it up, it goes upside down, and then everybody has a job, and it just
everybody's got knives, and it's
just going to town.
Bad luck for that cow.
So there's a hot side, and then there's a cold side. The hot side is the bloody side. That's like where the cow was alive a couple minutes ago.
And then usually, like, if you're working in that area, you usually get like a stink, like a smell, right?
Oh, yeah. But they dress you up. Like, you're dressed up to the T.
It's in your skin, though. Like, it's so crazy.
Oh, yeah.
I think my whole family has worked there. My grandpa was there for like 30 years.
Oh, yeah.
He ended up retiring out there. But he used to be the one where if like a farmer had a cow go down, they would call and my grandpa would go pick it up, bring it back and try to get it before it was like at a bad point.
Oh, wow.
So that they could still salvage it. And he used to do that a lot with like sheeps and just random farm animals around here.
Mm-hmm.
Have you guys ever been behind a semi or a dump truck that's full of the dead animals?
Oh, no.
Oh, not of the dead ones. Just the live ones to try to get away with it.
Okay, yeah. The ones in the cage where they're all alive, it's like, yeah, those are probably heading to JBS. But have you ever seen the dump trucks just like
so
full
messed up?
That's weird.
It's wild.
You don't want to see that.
So it's crazy because I actually used to work for the transportation side of things. And I had just like a weird feeling, it's just like knowing that you're hiring these people to,
Yep.
carry live cows.
Yeah.
To their death.
Yes. And then I'll be driving to work and I see right next to me a semi full of cows. And I'm like, oh, can't even look at them. But I don't know. It's just like I have like a weird thing for animals. Like, I mean, I eat meat and everything like that, It's just, it's just weird to know like the process.
And I've watched the process on both because my dad used to work at Butterball up in Longmont. So they used to do turkeys.
Ooh.
So I watched the turkey thing go down. I've watched the cow thing go down. I still love meat.
Yeah.
But it is very crazy to watch. You kind of don't want to eat after a while.
I know.
You're like, just going to give it a break. The poor cow.
I remember for a field trip in high school, we went to an egg, what is that, farm? An egg farm?
Oh,
I guess that makes
like
sense.
where chickens are at?
Yeah. And that was kind of cool. But it was like, it was Eggland's Best, and it was more of like a free range kind of thing. So they weren't crazy packed together.
Nice.
But they were still all together in
Yes.
like this giant warehouse. It's all weird.
It's crazy.
It's all super weird. Do you get bleached eggs or do you get brown eggs?
I've recently switched over to brown eggs. I really don't care.
Yeah.
I think it's more of my husband who's like, no, we need this. This is why we need it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of like, just throw it in the basket. I'll eat it.
Yeah.
I'm very much a foodie. Like, if it is edible, I will try it.
Yeah.
That is my whole thing. And I love to try everything at least twice.
Yeah.
This way I know that I've officially tried it. And if I absolutely hate it, I know that because I've tried it twice.
Yeah.
But
That's good.
I like to try everything twice.
Yeah.
Everything. I will try everything.
Jeez.
No, that's it.
I
I'm
know.
a big foodie.
I remember actually growing up though, like talking about eggs. We used to have like a farm. So like we used to have like chickens and stuff like that. And this was like when we were little. And our parents would tell us like, hey, go get the eggs, like the fresh eggs and we'll cook them. Like, okay, you don't think of anything. You go and get them, it's kind of fun. Go back inside. And after this moment, I couldn't eat eggs for quite some time until like probably here recently. But she cracked the egg open and there was like
An embryo.
yes.
Oh.
I'm like, oh no.
Was a little chicken in there?
It was a little chicken. A little pre-made chicken.
Did she crack it on the
in
pan?
the developed, yeah. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. So that kind of scarred me from eating eggs for quite some time, and then I got over it, and I love eggs.
Yeah, you know, I had one like that too, though. I actually cracked an egg open and it was like full of blood. I was like, yeah, not today.
Do you guys
It's
ever,
just so weird how
do you guys ever do
happens.
that in elementary school?
What?
Where you guys like try to raise one? Or like
No.
they do the egg and like, well, we did that in elementary school. They buy like the little machine that like warms them up. And
Like a little incubator.
we like all, we all like named them and stuff. And
Sweet. Did anybody's hatch?
for what I remember, no.
Oh.
So apparently we were horrible at it.
Hey, they gave me
Jeez.
an egg in high school when they were trying to do like that parenting class
Oh, yeah.
thing. I
How'd
think
that
I
go?
swapped it out 3 times and they never found out.
Oh my gosh.
I was 14 years old. I wasn't trying to take care of an egg.
Right?
I mean, granted, yes, I didn't go to any of the traditional high schools out here in Greeley. And I wasn't a bad kid, but I went to an opportunity high school. So I went to Weld Opportunity High School. I did my full 4 years there. Mine was different though because I was homeschooled when I was younger.
Oh,
So I went to kindergarten, first grade, second grade, and then third grade, my mom took us out. I think it was like a whole family thing. All of my aunts took all of my cousins out, and we ended up doing homeschool at everybody's house. So like,
Was that like for a reason though?
um, I honestly want to say my mom just hated school. My mom grew up in a different time, so like school wasn't important when she was younger. And I know that she dropped out in 8th grade to, help to work and to do
Right.
different things. So it wasn't always like a big priority to her. And then I think she had anxiety issues about us being taken care of by somebody else all day. So like that sense of where the teacher was like, no, Misty, you're not going to do this. And my mom was like, you're not going to tell her she's not going to do this. It was kind of like a control thing too. So I think as long as my mom could have us in her sight, she was okay with that.
Yeah.
that's pretty interesting though.
Yeah.
I had a couple kids at our school that transferred to where I went to school from being homeschooled. And they were always like I feel like you put this weird picture in your head of what it's like, and I feel like it's completely different. But if you're doing it with your whole family, like that's pretty damn cool, actually.
It was
Yeah.
actually really dope. I think I hated it when I was younger and kind of in high school because I didn't have the social things that everybody else did. Like, yes, I went to school with my cousins and stuff, but that's family and I can have a conversation with them and I can hang out with them. It was meeting new people that
Yeah.
threw me off. But I've always been a social butterfly. Like I've always been the loud, outspoken person.
Yeah.
Are you really
always
close with your cousins now?
Yes, most of them. I can't say most of them. Yes. And we don't get together often, but when we get together, it's almost like that where you've picked up right where you left off. It's
Right.
nothing new. You guys roll right into the conversation.
Right.
My family is very, very close. We were that ones where, because we were all homeschooled, we seen each other every single day.
Right.
We were together every day for years. And even beyond that, though, my mom and her sisters were very close with their mom. So every day we'd go and see my grandma. So we were always together.
See what I mean? That's what I'm saying. There's something special about that because I didn't necessarily grow up like that, So I think that's huge,
It is. It's crazy. Like I've had a lot of experiences with my mom and sisters. And just the fact that me and my sisters are so close. However, I feel like it kind of shifted us as adults. So we've kind of went our own ways as adults more than what I've watched other people. So like I've watched other families where they weren't as together as we were when we were younger, but they're closer now as adults and they've come together more as adults. And we have kind of fallen apart more because we've always been together. So we've learned to just kind of separate ourselves from that. But it's definitely different. People always look at you like you're from this Amish family that doesn't do any like TV and stuff. And that's really like a complete opposite case of it.
Yeah.
We did everything together. One of my aunts would do like math and geography. The other teacher would do history. My mom would do like teaching you finances, which I thought was better because my parents and my aunts could decide what we were going to learn. It wasn't curriculum based like the school is now. So
It's almost more like realistic.
Yeah.
Yes. So I learned more about life versus history. So I can't tell you what wars were happening in what years.
Yeah.
But financially, I can tell you how to do different things. I could write a check by the time I was 10 years old. I could run my dad's business with his checks. My dad had a business when I was younger, who he used to work on farms. He was a welder, so he would fix and fabricate people's farms and trucks and all of that stuff. So I learned a lot of all of that. I could weld by the time I was 13. I could fix a car by the time I was 13. Like, I was doing a lot of different things that normal kids aren't really doing at that age because they're in school. And I got the opportunity to do all of these other things.
Yeah.
Like, my mom would teach us how to cook. That was home ec. My dad would take us and fix a car, and that was economics, because he was teaching us how to use tools and to measure and all of that good stuff. It was just a lot of different things that we learned that I didn't learn in school. And now that my kids are in school, because I'm very prone on school, when I went back to high school, I loved it. I loved it. My mom had a really hard time, but I enrolled myself in high school because I didn't want to be homeschooled anymore. I am truly a person who needs to be around other people. I love to interact with people. I love to talk. I love to talk.
Honestly, that might be perfect timing too, because I feel like, I really don't know, honestly. So I mean, really, I'm just.
No, honestly though, I mean, that's interesting, because how is that perspective now? Because you have kids.
It's changed.
Really?
So, like, I really wanted my kids to be in school. I pushed them really hard to be good in school because it's not something that I got to do. And so I thought it was something that I missed out on, and I wanted to see how it goes.
Yeah.
But now that my kids are in school, there are times where I wish I could take them out and homeschool them, because I feel like I learned more about life and really truly what I needed to do in life to be a successful person. And that's not stuff that my kids are learning right now. And I feel like my 12-year-old should be more advanced than what he is. Granted,
I feel like COVID too. I mean, that must have been a huge, like, setback. Maybe, I don't know.
That's what I would think too, honestly.
I feel like it hurt a lot of kids who weren't already smart enough in keeping themselves ahead.
Right.
I'm fortunate enough that both of my kids are extremely smart, and they're in honor roll classes, and they're considered gifted and privileged. What is that? Gifted and talented. Gifted and talented. So my kids are pretty far advanced. My 13-year-old, they actually wanted him to skip 2 grades already. I've held him back because I don't feel like it's necessary for a 12-year-old to be with eighth graders,
Right.
getting ready to go into high school.
Yeah.
It's
It is
something that
different.
he's going to get there. He's going to get there. I think it's kind of messed him up a little bit too, though. Like, he's kind of gotten upset with me because he doesn't get challenged now. Like, he's too advanced. So he kind of just gets done first, and then that's caused him to get in trouble at school because he ain't got nothing else to do. So he's going to bug the kid next to him until the next assignment rolls through. But even at that, like, the teacher has given him most of his assignments, and he's ahead. And now she's like, I really don't know what else to do with him. So we've gotten him in extra programs this year because he's a math whiz, so he loves to do math. So they got him in this program called Adam, and Adam teaches him like 9th grade work right now is what he's doing.
Oh, wow.
So he's pretty good at it. I feel like numbers and math is just in my family. My husband's like a math number.
Now I want to get into that a little bit later, but 'cause that's interesting.
Yes, he's taught my boys a lot about numbers, the meaning of numbers, how they go, where to put them, how to read them. And I know that sounds crazy, but there's just a whole different there's just a whole different number language out there.
Yeah.
So he's definitely taught them a whole lot about everything, and I kind of sit back because I know a lot of times my kids think that I don't have that background because they know that I didn't go to school. And so they know that I didn't learn math the way that they learn math. And sometimes they've made me feel really dumb the way that they can talk about math. And I'm just like, I have no idea what you're talking about. Because like I said, I got a 3rd grade education with math. And my aunts, they didn't go to school the whole time. They didn't graduate, but they were teaching us. And so we could only go as far as they could go. And I think that was one of the reasons I wanted to go back to high school, because I wanted to learn more. I needed to be around somebody else. And I wanted to just explore other options to see what else was out there. And Waldorf actually did a really great job at that for me. It wasn't a traditional high school, so I wasn't like class to class, and I wasn't just another face in the classroom. I was in classrooms where there was 10 to 16 kids each class, and the teachers knew who you were. The teachers were on a first name basis. They didn't go by Mr. and Mrs. It was who they were, and there was a lot of other kids going through life. And I think that's what helped me too, because, you know, I had best friends who had kids when we were 14. I had friends who went through drug and alcohol problems when we were 15, and parents get divorced. And I've watched a lot of these kids who were considered bad kids who had to go to this alternative school, and crazy lives that they lived. And it was interesting to me because I'm very much a people watcher, and like wanting to know people's lives and why they are the way that they are. That's why I've enjoyed watching your show, because I get to connect with other people and see like, this is a crazy life and they've gotten through it, and this is their story. And it's interesting. People are interesting to me. Just everybody's journey.
Yeah.
It's so different.
It is.
You can't tell by just like walking up and looking at somebody, you know, like you really can't judge a book by its cover, and
Right.
it's clear as day. Like you really
Yes.
don't know what's beneath people's skin. So
Yes. Yeah, and you learn a lot as people start to let you into their lives. And then you're just like, wow, I never knew that that's what you went through. And it's crazy to actually find out people's stories, and you're just like, wow, I never would have put that in your life. And you are a very strong person for making it through and making it seem like your life is just perfect
yeah.
to a degree.
So you were homeschooled for a tremendous amount. So from 3rd grade to
9th grade.
basically 9th grade,
Yes.
right? And you slipped that in. So then you enroll yourself into high school.
Yep.
But you already had a kid at this time?
No,
or
I
was this
didn't.
right before?
No, I actually didn't have my kids till I was out of high school.
Oh, okay.
But I had friends who had kids in high school.
Oh, okay. That's what you
And
said.
so watching them go through it and actually being a part of their lives, like it was crazy, because my best friend had her daughter when we were 14. And thinking about it now, I guess I didn't realize that she had a baby at that time. Like we were 14 years old, and we used to have sleepovers, and there would be this baby with us, and none of us thought it was crazy. None of us thought it was crazy that she had this baby at 14 and we were having a sleepover. And that was just another part of life that I think helped me understand other people. Like, this is okay. Like she made it. Obviously her daughter now is almost 17, which kind of really trips me out. But like watching her journey now is crazy. Like to think that, and I tell her all the time, like, you used to like hang out with us after school. You used to come to our sleepovers. It's just weird.
That's crazy, honestly.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I had a lot of, and I mean, that's what Weld Up was actually known for. That's where a lot of the girls who got in trouble went to, because they couldn't go to a regular high school back in the day when they were pregnant. They got kicked out right away. I don't understand it. I never understood it, but a lot of girls at our school was pregnant because...
Is it the time thing? Is it like a scheduling, like, well, now we know you're going to be out for a while, you can't miss out on that much schoolwork? Or is it like an image? Or
I want to say it's an image thing.
that doesn't make sense.
It doesn't. I had a lot of girls who got, ended up being pregnant like right before school ended. So like this time-ish. And they were able to finish it because they weren't showing before the school ended. But there were a lot of girls who actually really did get kicked out. They were instantly put over to us, or Trademark was another school at that time. That was an opportunity school. And so it was interesting to see. And that's why everybody thought that I was this bad kid, because they're like, you go to Weld Up. Anybody who knew what Weld Up was back in the day was like, that's where the bad kids goes. Or they thought I had a kid already. A lot of people didn't realize like my story was completely different than anybody else who went to Weld Up. I didn't go there because I couldn't go to any other high school. I didn't go there because I got kicked out of a high school, and I didn't go there because I got pregnant. I wasn't in trouble. I went because that was who was going to accept me with the education that I had. They were willing to do extra testing and make sure that I could catch up to where I needed to be, because they knew that I was not mentally where I needed to be at. So they actually helped a whole lot. I started there. My first testing I ever took, I was at like a 4th grade level everywhere. And when I left, I obviously graduated. I graduated a year early. I started high school when I was 13. And that's kind of why I don't want my son to start school, because I feel like I rushed myself.
You started high school when you were
When I was
13?
13. I was 13 years old. I started high school. The counselors really did not want me to, but I was very persistent. I show up to that high school every day and I talk to the counselor, please let me come to school here. Let me come to school here. I just need to be in school. And so I finally, like every day, the counselor finally was like, I'm going to let you in, Misty. I'm going to let you do this. But the moment you mess up, you're not going to be here.
Wow.
And I was determined to stay there, and I worked my ass off to be in that school. And I came out on top. I graduated a year early. I was 17 when I graduated.
Wow.
Started college that next few months. I didn't take the summer off. I didn't take any time off. I went straight into college. I got my nursing license, and then I became a nurse, did my nursing thing for 8 years. And then I kind of just stopped because I was really over the medical industry.
So like when you graduated high school though, did you kind of know like you wanted to do that for a living or?
Yes.
Okay.
It took me a while to get to know what I wanted to do. And I'm at this point now where I don't know what I want to do in life. Because the reason I became a nurse was because my grandma got sick when I was in high school. And she got cancer. She got kidney cancer. And her nurse was just so mean and kind of at this thing where like, your grandma's at the end of her life. And I'm like, that doesn't mean that she's gone.
Wow.
Doesn't
Seriously?
mean, yeah, like it doesn't mean you get to be mean to her and not take care of her the best way that you possibly could have. And I just kind of vowed like people at the end of their life should never have to go through that. Like granted, you're at the end of your life, but
Right.
Yeah, come on.
yes. So I became a CNA first, and I did that for about 5 years while I was going to school and doing my nursing thing. I actually dropped out of college when I met my husband. It was kind of like that puppy love where you didn't want to do anything but be together, and so that kind of set me on a whole different path after I met my husband.
How'd you guys meet?
Crazy story. We kind of met through a prank phone call. That was interesting. So me and my cousin used to just prank call people, and we didn't do it in Greeley because I knew too many people in Greeley. So we were doing Denver numbers, and we called a guy we called a number.
Just random numbers?
Random numbers.
Dang. But like, hold up. Like, were you like looking in the phone book or were you like going through like
No,
old
we were
contacts?
just dialing numbers. We knew 720 and 303. We just put in the rest of them.
What?
So it's truly random. And the person who answered, we were just joking with him, like, playing around on the phone. And we hung up, and my cousin, he's gay. He said, I know that he's gay. I'm going to call him back. I'm like, please don't call him back. We were prank calling people. Like, it was a good time. Don't call him back. He called him back the next day, and they ended up having a relationship. Like, they started talking.
Oh, wow.
So he was like, I want to meet this guy this weekend. And I was like, we just talked to him like 3 days ago. We're not meeting this random person in Denver.
Yeah.
It's super sketchy. But he convinced me to drive him out to Denver because I was the only one with a car at that point. And so I drove him out to Denver, and we get there, and
That's a good friend right there. It's like, man, you're just driving down the street, go freaking.
heck yeah. Like, I was always the taxi too, though. People knew, like, Misty will take me. She'll drive anywhere. She'll go anywhere. So we get to Denver. We meet up with this guy, and he had a friend with him, which, if he's watching, I apologize. He just reminded me of Biggie Smalls. Yes.
So what you're
a
saying
knockoff version
is-
of Biggie Smalls. Take that how you may. I don't know. But I was not interested in him. And he was very persistent. I really like you. I was like, I know, but I'm not here for any of that. My cousin's here. Like, I'm not about all that. And at that point in my life, I wasn't. I had just gotten out of the only relationship I had ever been in, and I was heartbroken. I was a 17-year-old heartbroken kid who just lost my first boyfriend to somebody else that was supposed to be my friend.
Yeah.
And so it kind of like was a heartbreak all over the place. And I was like, nah, I'm not messing with boys. You have fun yourself. But he was very, very persistent. kept calling. So finally, I think in his head, he was like, how else could I get this girl to talk to me? And he's like, I have a friend that you should talk to.
Of course, right?
Cool. Sure. Well, back in the day, I was a crazy party person. So I was at a party one night and my phone rang. It was like 2 a.m. Mind you, 2 a.m. My phone rings and it's Steven, my husband. And he's like, I got this number from my friend. He said to call. And we stayed on the phone for almost 3 days.
Dang.
Like we literally took breaks for me to go to work, and like I call every break, we call every lunch, and then 3 days later, back in the day, we didn't have cell phones like y'all do now, like pictures and all that stuff. We were barely getting on MySpace at that point.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So you didn't even know how he looked like or anything like that?
Nothing. No. So I asked him, I was like, figure out how to send me a picture. We all had flip phones at that time. And I had just had this little Pebble flip phone. So we could start taking pictures at that time. And so none of us knew how to selfie it and like flip your camera.
I know,
we
because
didn't
you
have
literally,
front facing.
you have to like literally turn your camera around.
Yeah, like nothing was front facing. So you flipped your camera and hoped you got a best shot. It was so funny because I was like, he's like, you should come meet me, because he didn't have a car. And I was like, I need to see you first. Only because I was nervous that I was getting another Biggie Smalls. And I know that sounds messed up, but that was my fear. I was like, I'm not a Biggie fan. Can't do it. Normally you hang out people who are like you. So I just kind of had that whole thing. I was like, send me a picture. This man sends me a picture with a hat on, sunglasses, and gloves. Mind you.
Dang.
And gloves? Wait, are these like the hip hop days?
Yes. Where your fingers were cut out.
Oh my God.
Just like,
He had a picture like, face in hand, or facing hand in front of face, glasses, hat. And I was like, I can't see who you are. How am I supposed to see this? He's like, well, you have to trust me then. I was like, all right, I'll come out here and meet you. And I drove out to Denver. We met on 16th Street Mall in front of Nike Town when Nike Town used to exist. And it was love at first sight. We've been together ever since.
Dang. So you just pulled up and you're like, oh, snap. Okay.
Yeah.
She's like,
all
okay,
right, we're doing
this. I am going to park. Let's get out now.
Yeah,
right? Driving by slow.
See, and that's the crappy part about 16th Street is you have to park. Like you can't, there's so many people out there. Like I didn't know who he was. I was like, I don't know which one it is. Yeah. But the moment I walked up and I seen him smile, I was like, that's him. I know that one's him. And it was crazy. Like we spent that whole day together. We went mall to mall to mall, and at the end of the night, he was like, I really want you to be my girlfriend. I said, yes. And it's been history ever since.
Dang. And how long have you guys been together?
We have been together for...
Here, like, hold on, let me count.
14 years.
Dang.
14 and a half years. And
that's awesome.
We've been married for 15. We've been together for 15, married for 14 and a half.
What's the secret?
You know, a lot of people ask that, and I really don't know what it is. I feel like we kind of, we don't let anybody determine what marriage means. We don't let anybody determine what a relationship means, because that's truly, honestly, between you two. There's no book or Bible or anything that's going to tell you how to live with each other, how to manage each other, and just how to be one with each other. That's something you guys truly have to learn together. And we've been through it. We've had our crazy moments. And we've never, I don't know, me and Steven don't fight a lot. We get along really well. Like we are the same. I've always called him my twin flame, if you've ever heard what a twin flame is.
Yeah. But for those that don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what that
yeah,
is.
so a twin flame
I'm like, for those that don't know. I'm just kidding.
A twin flame is somebody who shares your soul, and you guys have been lost from each other, and you eventually find each other, and you guys were meant to truly be together. You
kind of
guys,
like soulmates.
You guys are each other's flame. And I always say that Steven's that. Steven has always been everything to me. He's taught me a lot about myself. He's taught me a lot about being okay with the fact that we are not in a traditional relationship. I grew up with my parents very Christian, very dependent on God working through their marriage. And I don't have a religion. I stepped away from religion a long time ago, and so did my husband. My husband, we both were Christian at some point, Messianic, and we just stepped away because we've realized a lot in life about religion and how we feel religion holds people back at some point with their relationships, because they're allowing this religion to control and tell them how their marriage is supposed to be. And if it's not that way, then it's broken. And that's not true. Like we go through a lot of different things in life, and the only thing that you need from your spouse is for them to truly be there and to accept that is what you're going through, and to figure out how to help you make it through that. And I feel like we've been that for each other. Like Stephen's gone through his crazy life and the things that he's doing and the things that he believes in. And I've never told him that he was wrong for that, because who am I to say that somebody's wrong for believing that the way that they believe? If it gets you through life, then that is what you need to get through life.
Absolutely.
I don't feel like we have a traditional marriage, just because I'm a very spiritual person, and I feel like at one point we are all gods, and so we make our own decisions. Stephen is the God in our family, and I am the goddess, and I hold on to and I support anything that he says. I help him get through life, and he helps me get through life. But he is the God, and I do believe that he was meant to be in my life to help me get through it, and he was there to guide me, because he is the man, and he does guide me through life. And I'm just there to support him and to have him support me back. And so we kind of felt different about it. Our relationship has changed a whole lot. But we've been together for a long time. We've known each other longer than we haven't. We've been together longer than we haven't. We got married when we were 19 years old. We met when we met in February 2007, and we moved in together in May of 2007. We got married in August 2007. So,
dang.
Yeah, it was like a really
That is
fast,
that puppy love.
It was quick. It was very fast. We got married super fast. And a lot of people honestly were like, you guys are never going to make it. You don't even know each other. And I think that is what helped, though, because
Like
we
a
didn't know each
motivator.
other.
Yeah.
Like, we've spent this whole time learning about each other.
Uh-huh.
Where most people have, they date for 6-7 years, and then at that point they get married, and sometimes they lose interest because they know everything they need to know about each other at that point. And I feel like me and Stephen have kind of grown up together. We've literally like done everything together. The last year of our teenage life, our whole 20s, our whole adult life, it's just been us. Yeah. I really don't know if I would know what to do without him.
Right.
At this point in life, like, he's been there so much. I don't know what it's like to not have him. But it's been an interesting ride. Yeah. Marriage is definitely, it'll put you to the test. Kids will put you there more. But for the most part, we love to separate it. Like, I know people think that's crazy, but we do separate us from our children, and we do not allow our children to interrupt our relationship. Some people think I'm selfish for that, but I do not let my kids interfere with our relationship. So most there's those parents who are like, no, we have to do this for the kids. We have to do this for them. At some point, my kids are going to grow up and leave me. And then I have my husband. So at this point, I have to make our relationship as strong as it can be so that we can support our kids when they leave. And our kids know that they don't push the boundaries in our relationship. They don't ask questions about our relationship that are too in-depth for them to know. And they see, like, you can ask them. And we have asked them, like, how often do your parents fight a lot? Do you think they fight a lot? Do you think they get along? And it's not something my kids have ever really sat there and been like, oh my God, my parents do fight a lot. And my son's like, I don't know. I think you guys debate a lot, because we do have a lot of conversations where we're just like, well, I don't know. This is life. And we talk a lot about everything. And I think our kids have really seen that. And I enjoy that they have seen that part of our relationship, that they know that you can talk with your spouse about anything, because they know that we can talk about anything. And we try to monitor ourselves around our kids, but I also want my kids to know that life happens.
Yeah.
And I don't want
like
them to be
not keeping them
surprised.
too like sheltered.
Yes.
Yeah.
They probably know more than they probably should, but I think school has also taught them a lot more than they probably should too.
Yeah.
They got
Or
some
just being
pretty
online.
Right.
Yeah, that's a whole different story.
They got
Yeah,
smartphones.
seriously.
Yep. Well, my oldest, we've already went down that road. Internet is not my friend right now. And it's really hard to monitor.
You said 13?
Yep.
You're like reminiscing back to when you were 13 or
Yeah,
what?
I know what I was doing when I was 13.
And what's crazy though is my son has more access than you had at 13.
Yeah, that's what I was literally just thinking about.
That
yeah.
is pretty crazy to think
My
about.
first phone, I didn't have my first phone until I was like maybe almost 15 years old. But my first phone only had 4 buttons on it. Sorry, it had 6 buttons. 4 buttons, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a call and an end button. And I only had 4 numbers I
people
could
to call?
save in there. Yeah. And all you do is hit 1 call, 2 call, 3 call, 4 call. So I couldn't even call people. Like if I had to dial somebody's number, I wouldn't be able to do it.
Right.
Dang.
I feel like I'm missing the last 3 numbers.
was
I'm sorry.
horrible.
I can't get a hold of you.
Yeah.
Oh my
What kind of
gosh.
phone does your son have?
He has a Galaxy something. He's got
I know.
whatever I got.
Plain and simple, that's a smartphone. That's
Yeah.
insane. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's
Seriously.
got. Well, and we have
That's
this
crazy.
app that like we can block all the stuff, but it only goes till they're 13. So like right now, it's letting me know like here in the next couple months, it's no longer going to work on his phone because he's of
Wow.
age. And I was like, no, my son's not of age or anything. But it's been hard to monitor that, which in some sense, my kids are really good. Like my son knows I will find out. Like I think it trips him out every time. Like, I really don't know how she knew that. Like, how did she find that out? And I always tell my kids, like, I got ears everywhere.
I got that from my parents.
Ever think you're going to get away with it. I will find it. And I have. I found a whole lot of things. He just got his first girlfriend last year.
Oh.
That was interesting.
Wow.
Why
it
was
was
that
through the
interesting?
pandemic.
Oh.
So you're like, actually, that's not too bad.
I was okay with it. We were home. She was home.
All they did was just FaceTimed.
You know what? They didn't even do that.
Oh, okay.
It was a lot of text messages, and I'm not that parent to like, give me your phone. I'm going to look through it right now in front of you. I wait till he goes to sleep.
Oh my gosh.
I scroll through that boy while he's asleep.
Oh man.
But yes,
That's awesome.
he's interesting, and it's funny though because like conversation between him and a girl to me I thought was going to be weird to read because I'm like I'm just going to prepare myself for this text message. I don't know what's going to be inside of it.
Especially being 13.
Yes,
You just
but
don't know,
he's
like-
and he's just I always say like he's kind of nerdy though. My son loves anime and like Pokemon, and he's just he's a geek. He loves video games, and I'm okay with that. Like I love.
Hey, that's cool.
That's what we do.
That's
Like,
not even like.
Yeah.
I feel like back in the day that was kind of a weird thing, but that's like it's a really cool thing to like be into that stuff nowadays.
Yes. He's very into it. His overall goal is to eventually live in Japan.
What?
And so I have told him I support that 100%. I just hate flying, so I probably won't come see you. I can't even make it to Vegas on an hour flight, and I'm not doing 12 to go to Japan. Sorry.
You know, like I think that's really interesting though. Like having kids, and then there's always going to be different situations that come up. Obviously, you know, like just like him having a girlfriend, him like you know talking about his dreams and goals. Like, how do you really? I mean, like I guess like what's you know a good advice that you can give out to other moms. You know, if they do face like a difficult situation, they don't know how to respond back to that.
You know, I've always supported him, no matter what. Like the Japan thing has been the biggest thing we've talked about. And that's because at some point he thinks I'm kind of a hater, but I want to know how he wants to get to Japan.
Mm-hmm.
Like I know the goal is Japan,
Yeah.
and it's in his phone, like it's in a folder. He writes about it all the time. Like he's even got like a whole group with his friends. Like we're going to Japan. That's what it's called. We're going to Japan, and they talk only in that group about things in Japan. They send each other messages in Japanese, and my son is learning Japanese right now because
That
he
is badass.
is very serious about going. Like, he really wants to do it. So he says things to me in Japanese. I don't understand it. Yes, cool. I don't know what to tell you, son. But he does. Like, he really is very interested in all of it, the whole anime and wanting to be out there and experience that life. And I'm like, yes, do it. Go to Japan. Enjoy that. How are you going to get there? What are you going to do to get there? And I think he thinks that I'm a hater at that point. Like,
But that's
well,
huge,
you're
though.
just stopping me. No, son, I really want to know what your aspiration is to get there. Like, what are you going to do to make it happen? Because it's not a free trip. And he's like, I know, Mom, it costs $5,890. Like, I've already looked it up. I know, son, but where do you get that $5,000? How do you make that happen? What are you doing right now that is going to put you there? And I think that has gotten his wheels going a little bit, hopefully, because he has come up with like a business plan of what he wants to do when he gets older. And so right now it's culinary school he wants to do. And I think that's a lot of the reason why he wants to go to Japan too, because the food is just different out there. It's very interesting.
The culture, everything.
Yes. And I was like, son, if you became a chef, you could do that for free. You could travel this world for free and taste food and make it and serve it to the best people. Like,
Seriously.
you just got to be good at what you do.
And the fact that he's 13 years old, going to be 13,
Yes.
and he's already thinking about his future like this, that's amazing. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like that's almost like a good job for you as like a parent. And I feel like that almost takes like a skill to be able to almost like relay over to your kids and be like, you know what? Yeah, you can do that. But like, how do you do that?
Yeah.
How can he get there?
Yeah, if he's
That's
taking his own,
huge.
like, using his own will to go out of his way to take the time to, like, try to make those things happen or think about a way to make those things happen, that's huge.
Yes.
I wasn't thinking about that when I was that age.
Yeah, Tremaine really trips me out sometimes, like just how smart he is. I have no doubt that he'll do something very big in life. He'll be successful at some point. I really want him to experience life and enjoy it. I tell everybody that before you have kids, and not that my kids have stopped me, they've stopped me from doing a few things, but not a ton of stuff. I want him, and I always tell him, don't get married and have kids right away. If you find somebody that makes you happy in life, travel the world with them. Experience everything you possibly can do with them. And before you have kids and you have to make this family and take care of it, go see everything that you could possibly see. Do everything that you can possibly do and enjoy your life. When you're 30 years old, then you can decide to have kids and settle down and build a home if that's what you're interested in. But at this moment, I want him to really take his time in life and enjoy everything that this world has to offer. Because I did not do that. Obviously, I just rolled into my life with Steven, and we had our first son right when we turned 21. Cameron came when we were 25, and it's just, we stopped ourselves from enjoying our younger years together. And not that we can't do it now that we're older, but my body hurts. And so I can't go hiking every damn day with him like I want to and do these things, because we are responsible now for 2 other lives, and all of our animals and things that we have at home. And so we've kind of put that back. And also now our kids are older, getting older. So we are traveling a little bit. Like, we went to Vegas this year, and our kids hated us because they were, you guys went to Vegas and left us here. That was the weekend that it was like negative 19 here. And I was in Vegas at a pool, sending pictures.
Right? Sending pictures over to them.
Hey, son, 90
Shuffle
degrees
the
out
driveway.
here. Yes.
Hey, make sure you take out the trash. It's Thursday.
Yes. I swear. They were like super upset. So they were like, you got to take us somewhere. And I was like, this year we were going to do it. I still feel like the pandemic is not going to make us have a good time while we're out. So I told them maybe one more year.
Go camping.
We do. They love it. They love to go outdoors and all that good stuff. We're trying to figure out different things to do this year versus taking a trip, just because I feel like it's a waste. Like, there's not, we went to Vegas, and when we went, you had to like reservation everything.
Yeah.
You had to
It is a whole
stand in
process.
line for everything. And I was like, I don't want to do that with 2 kids. Like, I don't know if y'all know what it's like to take 2 kids out and wait in line.
Not at all.
It's an awful experience. Like just trying to like keep them entertained for 10. My kids have like, I probably shouldn't say they have ADHD, but they're like wild. They're a little hyper. they're a little hyper than most kids. So they're really antsy, but I also blame that on my husband. My husband, Steven's very antsy and he's very impatient. If it's not happening in 2 seconds, then he doesn't have time for it. And that's how my kids are. And sometimes it drives me crazy because I have patience. I'll sit all day, just wait to get a free thing. I don't know. Like, that's just me. I'm like, I'll wait all day to get it. Heck yeah. My kids are like, no, we're not doing this. This is ridiculous, Mom. We've been waiting for 5 minutes. I was like, it's 5 minutes. Okay, calm down.
How old were you when you had them?
I was 20 years old when I had Tremaine. 3 months before I was 21, which I couldn't really do anything at that point when I turned 21. So I was like, I'm not doing anything for 21. I'm going to celebrate my 25th because you always go by like
right,
the number. So I was like, 25. We're going to party it up. And I was pregnant on my 25th with my youngest son.
Dang.
So I was like, 30. We're going to do it. We're going to party on 30. And for 30, I was actually pregnant. And I lost him though. So for 30 I was like, good God, 35, here we come. But we got time. We got time for 35.
Right.
I celebrated 33. 33, I was like, you know what? I'm not going to wait for 35 because I may not make it to 35. So I partied last year for 33, this year for 33. God dang, and this year for 33.
Yeah. In January, right?
Yes. 33 is a good number in my relationship with Steven and me, and 33 follows us a lot. So this year we celebrated 33 because 33 is a big number for us. And so this is going to be the best year for us. And it has been. It's been a really successful year for us.
I'm very curious about that. Can we get into the numbers thing?
Sure, yeah.
So I don't really know.
My husband studies Gematria.
What is it?
Gematria.
Gematria?
Gematria. Cindy knows, I never suggest anybody to look into it too hardcore.
Like geometry? Is that kind of what you're saying?
Pretty close, yes. Yeah. Oh my God.
Geometria?
Now I messed it up. Now I don't even know what it is. Numbers. Gematria.
Gematria. Okay.
Yeah. Gematria is the study of numbers. So if you've ever watched the movie Numbers with Jim Carrey? No.
Is that the 23 movie?
23.
Oh,
I don't think we've ever seen it.
I thought we did actually.
If you watch it, I feel like that's literally my husband. Like he can take words and all he sees on them are numbers. So like, in the alphabet, you have 1 through 26. A is 1, B is 2, 3, C. He'll take those numbers and you can add them up and they come out to different things that happen in your life. So I really don't get into depth with it. I let Steven kind of tell me more about it only because of my experience with Gematria. And that is because my husband, when he started learning about these numbers, he started learning a lot about life and a lot about how the world works and a lot about how numbers control the world and how the government uses the world to control different things.
And I feel like this kind of like falls a little bit in the category, maybe not, but kind of like The Simpsons, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where they like kind of predict things and you're like, wait, what the heck? Like, how did that even happen? Or how do they know that?
Yes. And my husband has predicted a lot of things with his numbers. He uses it to gamble now at this point, which he's really successful at because he's very good at numbers. He knows, and this is the only reason why I feel like a lot of things in my life have kind of rippled out crazy during that first 5 years that he was learning it, because he learned so much about the world and how numbers have evolved us and how the government uses these numbers to control different things and to make us believe different things and to go different ways. Which I thought he was crazy when he first got into this. I was like, okay, Steven, like, I'm just going to let you tell me this. It's crazy.
Sounds like the Matrix.
I know, that's what I was about to say. Do you think we're in a Matrix?
He feels like he's in the Matrix. He'll tell you all day, like, this is not his world. He's detached a lot from the world now at this point, because it really did, like, it broke him down. It showed him things that he was not prepared for. It showed him a lot of the world in a wild side, and he really had a hard time comprehending it. He had a really hard time grasping that, to the point where he thought everything in life was fake. Everything was fake. You could not tell him that something was real. And he just always would tell me, like, I wish I could take the blue pill. I just want to take this blue pill and end this matrix. And it got really depressing for us because he stopped believing in everything. Everything. Like, I can't even go in depth with that on how much he does not believe in. And so when I started questioning him, like, why would this not be that? And he's teaching me these things. And so now I don't believe in a lot of stuff. And that's why I have fallen away from religion. Cindy knows I don't even believe in space. Like, I don't believe in a lot of things.
You don't believe in space?
I don't know how I feel about space. Yeah, so I don't know how I feel about space at this moment in life.
There's kind of like this weird aspect of, have you seen the Truman Show?
Yes, that's exactly what
Okay,
it's like.
that's kind of the vibes that I'm getting from this, okay?
Oh, yeah.
So when we saw
That's
that
wild.
movie, I
Yes.
definitely had it's basically the Matrix, right?
Yes.
It's kind of like, and you hear some people talk about, Elon Musk has talked about this too, where it's kind of like Bill Gates, where they're like, we could be living in a simulation.
Yeah.
We don't know.
Yeah.
The odds of this of already happening, the odds of these things of already being a thing are so high that
Yeah.
it's just, we really don't know.
Yeah.
And obviously, like, even right now, literally, if I'm thinking in my own conscious, I don't necessarily know that this is all happening, right? This is kind of the basic thing of what you guys are saying, right?
Yep.
The Truman Effect.
Yes, very much.
Okay.
Exactly the same. That's been our lives for some time now. And it's, people think you're crazy. I have, I've had multiple conversations with Cindy, and people really do think you're crazy. Like, people think that I am out of my mind. People have literally called us crazy conspiracy people, and
I mean, it seems pretty wild.
it's pretty wild. But once you get into it and you learn it and you realize it, and you're just like, holy crap, Misty's not a psycho. She really did mean what she said. Like, she really did know about this.
Is there something in particular that makes you like, okay, now I have some questions?
There's been a lot of things that have questioned me, like, that I've just like, how did I let this slip by me? How was I so blinded as a civilian to not see what the government's doing to us?
Like what? Give me an example.
I feel like we would have to have like Steven here to go into.
Steven would blow your mind.
And that's what's
I
almost
want to
crazy.
know. Yeah.
And that's what, like, I feel like puts me on like this weird, like, I don't even know where my train of thought should even go with that, because it's almost like a part of me is kind of like, okay, government lies. It's almost like your parents, should they lie to you? There's some things that should be very transparent there, but there's also some things that are like, maybe you should know that we're 2 months behind on the mortgage. You're 8 years old. Maybe you don't need to know about these things. Just worry about school. You know what I mean?
Word.
I feel like there's a certain aspect of that has to do with our government. Like, for example, aliens, right?
Do you believe in them?
I mean,
I do.
I don't want to say no.
I know, right?
Because I don't know.
Yeah.
I really don't know.
Do
Am
you
I
think
asking
so?
for
Like, but when you think of an alien, do you think of it like a green alien, like they show you in the movies, or do you think that aliens live among us, like me and you?
They could, and that's the thing. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, like, what defines an alien to you?
Right.
Like that. I don't know. Like, I really do feel like there are different beings that live upon us.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of where the space thing happens with me, because we've landed on the moon at some point in time, but there's no facts to prove it.
I don't know.
Yeah, like, there's nothing out there, and everybody's like, no, this video, Neil Armstrong. Yes, but have you ever watched interviews with Neil Armstrong?
Look, if
He
you haven't gone
cannot
down
even
the
tell you what
rabbit
the
hole,
moon looks like.
yeah.
Dang.
If you haven't gone down the conspiracy rabbit hole on YouTube, then I don't know what you're doing in your free time.
Word. Yes. Like, it's crazy though. Like, even if you go on NASA and you watch interviews with just astronauts, they contradict themselves all day. There's one right now because they just came out with like a shuttle named Aaron, who's supposed to break the Earth's atmosphere. So we've never broken the Earth's atmosphere.
Right.
How do we land on the moon?
Yeah.
if you just invented this
Right.
in the last 5 years to break the Earth's atmosphere?
Yeah.
Nobody catches that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
This woman literally said, "We're trying to break the Earth's atmosphere."
I've seen
I
this
thought
one
we
video.
did that in the 60s.
I saw this one video, and it was them supposedly doing an interview while they were up at like this space shuttle. So they're supposed to be in space, and they're like a bunch of astronauts sitting in this camera frame. You could probably pull it up on YouTube. And there's a wire.
Oh, shoot.
I feel like it's a pretty famous video.
Wow.
But they're in there, they're all floating around, whatever. And one of the guys, he does like a little flip. So he does like a little front flip or whatever. And at the end, the guy next to him reaches over and pulls a cord and like pulls him closer.
Wow.
That's crazy. We were just watching the other day. Well,
Just look up astronaut video wire.
we literally were watching yesterday. And that's what trips me out more, is because I feel like we watch this stuff to truly like, see, I told you it was fake. Because my youngest son right now is very into space. And it's really hard because I don't want to crush his soul. But I also know that at 8 years old, my oldest son already knew that a lot of this was fake. So like right now, I'm not the bad guy right now. Tremaine is, because Cameron talks a lot to Tremaine about things. This is his older brother, and my kids are very close. So they talk a lot. And Tremaine has broken the news to him that, you know, space may not be real. We may have not landed on the moon. And I love that Tremaine breaks it to him so nicely at some point. Until Cameron's like, no. And then Tremaine starts getting frustrated. Like, no, it's fake. We didn't do it. And like, he'll get a little more rough with it. But
Do you guys do the Santa Claus thing?
we don't. We never have. I'm not big on lying to my kids. And I know that seems like the weirdest thing, but like, even to lie to them about Santa Claus, I can't. Like, I refuse to have my kids believe in things that are just not. And I know people think that I'm crazy. Like, Misty, you're taking away their childhood and their excitement.
Do you still celebrate Christmas?
Yes.
Is it not really? Okay, I feel like that's kind of a weird.
But I feel like you're pretty open-minded and you like to celebrate all types of...
So we've actually celebrated Hanukkah. Like, we've done that one year, which was fun. We celebrated Kwanzaa one year, which was fun too. It's almost like Hanukkah. And for the most part, we do Christmas. And it's really not Christmas to us the way a lot of other people celebrate Christmas.
Right.
Like, we'll put up a tree, but it's not like we sit there decorating the craziness out. We put a string of lights up, and the only thing that goes on my tree is anything that my kids have made. Like, it's really no...
See, that's cool.
Yeah, there's no extra, like, bulbs or whatever else. It's anything my kids have made at school. And that's because for school, they have them make all these crafts.
Right.
And so my kids always have an ornament.
Yeah.
And for the last 13 years, I've gotten an ornament or two now at this point. So that's what we have on our tree. My kids realize that Christmas is not normal for us in the sense of, like, it's not about gifts and all of that.
Right.
So my kids get a couple of things that they've asked for. So they know what they're getting. We just really don't.
Is it more of just like a traditional kind of like, well, everybody that you know is kind of doing this. It's
Right.
like, I don't want you to, it's not like a miss out, that FOMO kind of thing, but it's almost like.
Yep, about the same.
Okay.
And I think it's more because my mom and dad always did Christmas with us. So, like, we grew up with it. And so it's just kind of something we continue to do. My mom loves Christmas. Like, that is her holiday. She goes crazy. She's almost as bad as the Griswolds. She just doesn't want to pay that bill. So she kind of tones it back a little bit. But she's very, I mean, Christmas is already up in her house right now.
Dang.
No,
The entire year?
Yep, the whole year. She's a Christmas fiend. Everything, her bathroom, the hallway. She's got snow coming down her, everything. Anything you can think of Christmas, it's at my mom's house. And so she's actually hyped our kids up a lot about Christmas. So that's why we still continue to do it, because my mom is very like, Christmas is happening. She'll even post the day after Christmas that it's 365 days till Christmas. She loves it. She loves it. But we really don't do holidays like that. Like, we get together with everybody because they get together. But we don't celebrate really anything like the 4th of July and all that good stuff coming up. Those are just days for us to get together.
But then again, is that
Isn't
like
what
just...
it is?
But then again, though, is that something that, like, just made you think different because of what you learned from.
Yes. Oh
Okay.
yeah, we used to go all out and celebrate a lot of holidays. And
But
now
then-
that I've realized what holidays mean and just the history behind a lot of holidays, a lot of people don't really look into the history of what a holiday truly meant. They just kind of go off of what everybody's made it.
That's true.
I mean, for
Very true.
Thanksgiving, we're celebrating massive death, and people sit and enjoy food together with that, and they are thankful for people dying on Thanksgiving. And I don't think people really see it that way.
But then is it like the freedom also though? It's like you're being thankful for the freedom that you got provided, maybe, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't really
I don't even
looked too
think it's
much
that
into
specific.
it, but
Yeah. I mean, for me personally, I don't even get that specific with it.
I know.
I mean,
yeah.
you say Thanksgiving, I'm just like, okay, I got a bunch of family coming over, or I got to make a million different trips to different families' houses to eat way too much
Word.
food.
Word.
But it's like, oh, well, it's cool. At least I get to see the family.
Yeah.
And that's really, I mean, to me, that's
basically
it,
what it
man.
is. Yeah.
That's all I need.
Yeah.
You know, it's an
And my
excuse to
family
have
sees
to
each
see-
other so
yeah.
much that it's hard to be like, okay, another holiday we're seeing
Right.
each
Like,
other
hey,
again.
what's
Yes.
up? I haven't seen you in a while. When it
Yeah.
was
There's
just
something special
yesterday.
about that too, though. Like I'm an only child, so there's like different
okay.
things. I mean, like there's experiences that you were talking about that I didn't have.
Right.
So it's kind of weird. Like it's a different perspective, Like even now that we're like, I mean, we've been out for years, but I mean, we don't live with our parents, and it's been like that for a while. And I mean, since then, I don't see my parents that often. And it's not that I do it on purpose. Like I want to see my parents as much as possible.
Mm-hmm. It's hard.
It's hard, man.
It
you
is.
know?
Our family gets together every week. So I think we've made that though. Like we used to do Sunday dinners. Every Sunday it would be a different person's house. At some point, my youngest sister, she's got like this tiny apartment. So we obviously swap it between the rest of us. And I had a small place at some point. Now I have a bigger place. And so we do have Sunday night dinners at my house. None of my family has gotten together in 3 weeks. And that has been really hard for me. I didn't realize, like, I guess when you get together so much, people think it's crazy or like you kind of feel like it's too much. And then you realize like it really wasn't that bad to see each other once a week.
Yeah.
Because now that it's been 3 weeks since I've seen my sisters and my mom and my dad,
Kind of
I actually see my dad more. But it's been different. It's been interesting to not have us all together every week.
How did you
Yeah.
guys implement that though?
Um,
Because we struggle with just getting everybody to have a plan for Thanksgiving.
yeah,
It'd be nice to just like,
I think it's easier for us because my mom and my sisters are stay-at-home moms, so they can make it work easier for their family. I have been the only one that's chose to work, and my mom hated it for a long time. My mom is very 50s, so my mom was raised very like the
Traditional.
woman is home, the man is at work. That is how it works. You never change that. So when I got married and I went to work, my mom had like this breakdown. Like, why are you working? What is happening? Why can't Steven provide for you? And it was never that Steven couldn't provide for me. It was the fact that we were in an equal relationship and we were helping each other. And I watched my mom and my dad where it was just a single income family and we did what we could because that's what we had. And I guess I've always wanted more. I've always wanted more.
And I feel like that's usually the tradition that like our parents are used to. Because that's the life that they used to live where, the man is the household is the one that goes out and makes the money while the mom is taking care of the kids, cooking, making sure that everything is clean at home.
Yep.
So I think with like our generation just kind of like slowly like revolving and like growing, it's sometimes hard for them to realize that that's things that kind of change over time.
Yes, my mom had a hard time grasping that. It took her a long time to get over it. I don't think she's fully over it at this point in life, but she's accepted it. But she really was upset with me for a long time, which was crazy because like she knew I was going to work. I went to college. I was going to college to get a job. Like she knew at some point I wanted to work, but I don't think she thought I was going to continue to work after I got married and had kids. Because my mom was very on that, You either have kids or you have a career. You never mix both. And I never understood why she didn't think you could mix both. I think I've showed her that you can. I think I've proven that it's not the craziest thing in the world for my kids to not have me around 24/7. My mom has like FOMO. And so growing up, she never wanted us to do anything without her, like without being around. And she wanted to see everything and she wanted to be everywhere with us. And I am definitely not like that. I love my kids to have experiences and then come home and tell me about it. I'm not that way with my husband, though. I do have FOMO with my husband, and he hates it. Because I'm always like, "Where are you going? Like, why can't I go with you?" Misty, I need a moment. I'm fun. We'll hang out.
Wait, you can do that?
You can.
Hey, what are you trying to say over here?
What?
Jeez. No, I think
Come
that's
on,
interesting
Cindy.
though.
Just kidding. Loosen up.
I know. Shit, I am fun.
I didn't say what.
Look at me.
That's
not where you at.
I didn't.
Where are you at?
I didn't even say anything.
You got a full glass over there.
You know what?
God dang it.
I shouldn't have said
You
anything.
haven't even sipped on that guy.
I shouldn't have said anything.
Watered.
Exactly.
Now you guys are picking on me.
No, I think that's interesting though. Like, I know that you mentioned earlier that you kind of separate your relationship and then your kids.
Yeah, I love that.
I mean, like, what do you do as like a couple to kind of keep that love still going and growing?
Everything. Anything that we want to do. Steven, I mean, I'm like really I'm always like the life of the party. Like I love to go out and have a good time. And if nobody's having a good time, I'm gonna make you have a good time. We're gonna have a good time. And so Steven knows that like we'll go places and he's just like, wherever we go, Misty's gonna talk to somebody. We're gonna figure out what's happening. It's gonna be good.
Yeah.
As I've gotten older though, like obviously my friends have all went their own ways after high school and college, and we kind of all, did our own life thing. I really don't know what's happening nowadays. Like sometimes I get like, dang, Missy, you really are getting old. Like you don't even know what's happening this weekend, what's going down. But we try to like keep it. We do a lot of dates. I don't know. Me and Steven are music people, so we love concerts. We love to go to a concert.
That's always a good time.
Yes.
I mean, how
Gotta
can you
love
not?
COVID.
Yeah, and you know what? I was upset because I was like, concerts are going to be back this summer. And then everybody's like, you got to have a vaccine to get it. Go into a concert. And I'm like, well,
What?
I'm not going to do it. Yeah, there are like some venues that aren't going to let people in without vaccines. And I just think it's crazy.
Well, like, yeah, I got the shot. Like, you're just standing in
Yeah, I
line.
got shot. I got shot.
Got bullet holes everywhere, y'all.
I got shot.
We got shot.
That's hilarious.
We
Dang,
do.
that's kind of wild.
Yeah.
They
no.
are starting to schedule stuff, it seems like.
Red Rocks has got a whole lot going on this summer. I actually wanted to go out there for 420 because Maddie Madison was going to be out there. I don't know if you know who Maddie Madison is.
Is that the... Maddie? Isn't that the...
He's like a chef.
Oh, what?
Yeah, he's a big, heavy chef.
I was thinking of... There's two songs that you play all the time, and it just says Maddie, and it's a picture of some blonde dude.
Who's Maddie?
Thought it was Maddie Madison. Like,
It's you.
Like,
your song.
no, my song.
You play the songs.
Who is this Maddie? Play the song.
I have no idea now. But no, I thought it was Maddie Madison from like, what is his name? Oh my God.
Action
From like Happy Gilmore. What's his name? Isn't that Happy
Billy
Madison?
Madison.
Billy Madison.
That's what was coming to my mind.
No, Action Bronson was out there as well. These are like weird people that I follow. Like Action Bronson is a rapper turned chef. He looks like he makes amazing ass food, but he's a dope ass rapper as well. And he was out here with Method Man on 420, and they were at Red Rocks as well. And I was like, I just want to go meet him. I don't want to.
I feel like usually you have really good stories that you told me before about like actually meeting famous people, getting lucky, and you're like somehow get like,
Every concert we've met the main person.
Yeah, it's crazy.
What?
So dope. Yes. So our very first concert we met. God dang it. I don't remember what our first concert was. 2 Chainz maybe.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think you were telling me that.
Yes,
Yeah.
I was
2 Chainz.
I was 3 months pregnant with Tremaine,
Oh.
and we got front row, and
Oh. Yeah.
The guy isn't blonde. I'm sorry.
yeah, I
It
don't
just
know
says
who that
Maddie.
is.
I thought that's what I literally.
I
That's
thought
what
I
I
was
thought you were
gonna
talking
know. I don't know.
Yeah.
No, I was 3 months pregnant with Tremaine, and we went to a 2 Chainz concert out at the Cervantes ballroom. Let me finish that. And it was the dopest thing, though. Like, we got front row. We pushed our way all the way to the front. Obviously, I'm pregnant, and he has this song way back in the day when this concert was going on. It's called "Start a Riot," and they started a riot in that
Dang.
place, and it was crazy because Steven's like
Oh my gosh.
trying to like
protect
me,
The belly.
but he's protecting me, like pushing me into the stage.
Oh my
And
god.
so I'm like, Steven. But 2 Chainz like looked down and he was like, "You are so beautiful," and like he handed me a rose. And so Steven did the thing, did the eyebrow, yep, just like that.
Like, oh hell no.
Invited me on stage, and I was like, no, like at that point I'm pregnant, I have my husband, and I'm like, boy, pick another one in the audience.
You're like, I can't be on TMZ right now.
It ain't gonna be me, sorry. So the next concert we went to was B.O.B. I don't know if anybody
Ooh.
listens to B.O.B. It's one of our favorite. We've been to multiple concerts with him, and he's always jumped into the stage with us. This last round, I was upset because me just trying to have extra money. I went and donated plasma. If y'all know what donating plasma is,
Yeah.
went out there, donated some plasma before this concert. Got myself all jacked up because I
Oh
needed to like
my
rehydrate,
Oh no.
and I'm at a concert, and it's hot as hell.
Jeez.
And so we're in the middle of this we're front row, middle of the concert, and I feel like I'm gonna pass out. I was like, Steven, I can't. Like, I gotta go to the bathroom. I don't know if I'm gonna make it all the way back up to the front row with you. I was like, so I'm gonna get to the bathroom, sucking down water because I'm like, Misty, just hydrate real quick. You're gonna be solid. Everybody's smoking, so obviously we're smoking. Everybody's passing around shit. And I look up because I'm feeling like crap. I look up and B.O.B. dives into the stage, and Steven catches it. And I'm like, Steven's right there. Like, I'm trying to get to him. Steven's jumping with him. Like, he's recording with him. He turns around and he grabs his backpack and he signs it and he hands it to Steven.
What?
And so I was so pissed because I was like, I just left. I'm watching all the excitement go down. Steven's looking at me like, this is happening. And I'm like, oh, good God. I feel like I got to redeem that one.
Where were you at?
That one was...
I mean, like, were you just like on the side?
on
Were
the
you getting
side.
like drinks or something? Oh, okay.
I was sucking
Trying to
down water.
hydrate, yeah.
And then I'm like, I'm
was
going to
trying to
make
come
it.
back.
I was like, I'm going to make it back. I promise. I got to do this. I didn't make it back before all the excitement happened. It was... And then Young Dro was there because he did a song with B.O.B. that year. And he was standing outside. And so we went up to him and we had a conversation. However, that one kind of threw us off a little bit because he wasn't wanting to have a conversation because somebody messed up his money.
Oh,
and so he was like, he's trying to
kinda
figure
pissed.
out, yeah, like he's like, I'm trying to figure out my money right now. Like, I'm not. And I'm like, we're fans. Stop it. You asked for this in life. I feel like
You're like,
famous
bro, I
people
paid.
ask, right?
Like, bro, I paid.
I got my ticket.
What are you talking about? I paid.
Paid $30. VIP? I'm just kidding. No, we didn't get the VIP. And we never normally do because we normally meet the artist. So we just don't. We ended up meeting Big Crit. We went and seen Big Crit. If y'all know who Big Crit is, that's one of our favorite. That's my favorite artist right now. Big Crit is like super country, trap music. That's like the thing that people laugh at me when like...
Wait, super country trap?
It's country trap. Yeah. No. Not like country what you thinking of. Like down south trap music. But like that country feel because he got that accent.
Wait, what? Wait,
Yeah,
wait.
like, I mean, if you've ever like listened to trap music, have you ever listened to like some real country? I hate saying country because it's really
You
not.
say
It's just
country,
like their
I think of
voice.
George Strait.
No, not like that. Like a southern black person, like a southern country.
Kind of like
downtown.
Little Nas in a
Yes.
way.
Yeah, kind of, almost in a sense. It's more trap music. We'll just put it at trap music.
Yeah.
You have to listen to it. I think you'll like.
And then you're also a Lil Wayne fan
Oh
too.
God, Lil Wayne is my number one. That's and I've only seen him in concert once.
Dang.
He don't come to Colorado ever, and I absolutely hate that he does not come to Colorado. I went to Lil Wayne's concert probably back in 2009. 2009 was the last time he came to Colorado.
Who was your first concert ever?
Lil Wayne.
Your first concert ever
okay.
was Lil Wayne?
That was Lil Wayne, 2009. Yep.
Dang.
And he was at the what is that? The Fiddler's Green.
Oh, nice.
I've
And
been there.
so when he came, which was wild
Damn,
because
that's dope.
he actually was supposed to come like months before that. We bought the tickets. He canceled. So they gave us our money back. So then 2 months later, he's like, I'm coming back. So we bought tickets, canceled. So we got our money back. And then the third round, I was like, he cannot not come to this because it's Summer Jam. Like, he's headlining. He has to come. So we bought tickets. He did headline. It was the dopest experience of my life. Like, we were pretty close. And what was wild, though, is because that concert was the concert where he introduced everybody. So he introduced Nicki Minaj.
Oh,
He introduced Drake. He introduced Lil Twist. So that was like the world's first time seeing him. And I got to be there, and I was super ecstatic, but which I knew already about Nicki Minaj because she's always been one of my favorite female rappers, which I've always had quite a few, but she's kind of been the one that stuck out the most. Like,
This is
I've
kind
always followed
of
her.
off topic. Do you think Cardi B should have got the female artist of the decade?
I don't know.
It was like her first year. She was such a new artist.
I don't.
Nicki Minaj has been in this thing for like a decade.
Yeah.
right?
I honestly would never pick Cardi over Nicki just because I'm not a Cardi
Nicki.
fan like that. I really am like a Young Money.
Yeah, I feel like Nicki
Stay
deserved
kinda-
that one for sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
She's
definitely.
been in the game for way too damn long.
She's a freaking genius. Like I don't know. There's not very many female rappers that I really like. I think since everything's happened, I've kind of went more towards Meg Thee Stallion now. Like she's hot.
Whoa.
She's hot. Kind of stumped myself there.
I wasn't. What? I didn't argue or anything.
Yes, kind of like. See, I got all excited over that. No, Meg Thee Stallion is cool. Like, I like her verses. I like how she raps. She kind of reminds me of Nicki, in the sense of she can be dirty with her music, but she's not like. I gotta change this real quick. My kids are listening, and I feel like that's Cardi for me. I feel like she'd be saying some shit that I'm like, son, can you change it? I'm not trying to explain that right now.
Oh my god.
It's different. Yeah, I
It
don't think
is.
about that. We don't have kids. I don't think about that.
Yeah, it's
crazy.
Well, and you know what though? I can't really even say anything about that. I've actually listened to some of the music my son has talked about recently, and I'm like, good God, son.
But I feel like sometimes you don't, when you're like a kid, you don't really realize what they're actually saying. You're just like more listening to like the beat, unless if they actually really do focus on that, then that's a
My
whole
kids
different
are very
story.
about
But
music. I was like, my kids are very about music and the lyrics, and they know. That's why when I pulled up the lyrics on one of the songs he was talking about, I started like showing him, and he's like, I know, Mom, but it's not that bad. I was like, I'm reading it. It's awful. What are you talking about? It's not that bad. I don't even want to read it. I don't want to listen to this song. Good God. But I also don't really listen to the music that the kids listen to right now. I think it's garbage,
different.
but I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
I shouldn't say that because there's a lot of people out there who listen to it.
Times always change, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of true. I feel like older people, they're always like, what? This is the type of music you guys listen to? And it might be like Lil Wayne or something like that we like. And then it's like, no, for them.
You know what? My kids love Lil Wayne. I've always loved that they love Lil Wayne.
Oh,
yes.
that's cool.
And it's so funny. Yes, today actually, my son was like, I was listening to Lil Wayne and my friend asked me who it was. He's like, and I was like, bro, I'm shutting it off if you don't know who this is. You gotta know who this is. So I was like, son, not everybody knows who Lil Wayne is. He's my favorite. He doesn't have to be everybody else's favorite. I absolutely love Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne kind of like sparked mine and Steven's relationship at some point too, because I don't like when we met. My husband didn't think that I was. I don't even know what the word is like. That I was into like music the way he was. Lil Wayne, like when we met, Lil Wayne wasn't mainstream. he was underground. He was mixtape. He hadn't even come out with anything mainstream. So when I met Steven, he was like, no way you listen to Lil Wayne. So he popped in a CD and I rapped along with it. And he's like, oh my God. And he's like, no, nobody knows this song. It's on a different mixtape.
You're like, and that's when he proposed. And I said yes.
Yeah, it was history in the books. Yes, like it was just crazy. He did not think. And so he put on one of the hardest Lil Wayne songs to rap. And when
It's all Amele. No,
see, and that's mainstream. That was way after. No, it's called Sports Center. It's actually called Sports Center, and he raps about sports. And I think when Steven put that song on, and I rapped the whole thing with it, he was like, "This is she. She really knows music. Like she really into music." And that's where it kicked off. Like we consistently listened to Lil Wayne together because he was what was hot underground. We weren't mainstream music listeners.
Mm-hmm.
We really truly aren't now either though. Like I hardly ever put the radio on. It's got to be somebody that I know. It's got to be a mixtape. Like we use a lot of Dat Piff and what is the other, Spinrilla. Like we download a lot of mixtape trap music. I think that's what trips people out too. Like I pull up in nice clothes to a Sterling Heights bumping trap music.
Oh my God.
Like people think it's crazy and they're like, how are you so professional?
All the residents.
You're leaving, you're bumping music. It's crazy. I've even been asked to like turn my music down on the way in.
Oh my God.
They're like, Misty, we heard you this morning. I know you heard me. I had it up. That's why you heard me.
What's up?
No. Honestly, I think that's amazing. And before, when she asked you like what is it do you think that like that has helped you guys get so far or like helps you guys today? And you were like, well, I don't know. But honestly, like if you really think about it, and it's like I've been catching some of the things that you've been saying, and I feel like we can relate to this, or I feel like we can relate to this because, I mean, just listen to some of the things that you're saying. You guys get along so well because you guys are basically the same person. I feel like me and her are the same person. You know, I feel like that's what's worked so well for us for so long. You know, like there's so many things in there that it's. I mean, you guys like the same music, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're a foodie. Is he a foodie?
Yes.
It's amazing. Like
it's
music's all the same thing.
He has not. He's kind of gotten off of it because he's on his weight loss journey right now.
Oh yeah,
nice.
Which has been hard for me because whether I'm on a weight loss journey or not, I love food.
Yeah.
Like it's just the hardest thing for me. I've lost a lot of weight over the last few years, and at this point, I mean, I've always been. I'm not conceited. I'm convinced. I am okay with me. I love me. I love
That's
everything
huge,
about
though.
me.
Seriously.
So, yeah, like I really don't. Like people know it. They think I'm conceited. I just love myself. There's nothing about me that I don't love. I am it and I enjoy it. And so it's hard for me to help him because that's where we're opposite, is because Steven doesn't, he needs that like to work out and be like, I look good now. And me, I'm like, I look good all day. Mm-hmm. I'll leave. I'll wake up and leave.
I need a clap for that. No. Wrong one. Oh.
Dang.
Hey. Yes, to loving yourself.
Yes,
Seriously.
I absolutely love myself, 100%, all the way around. There's really not anything that people can say to me that would bring me down about myself because they're lying. Anybody tells you anything crazy about me, they're lying. She's got it.
I feel like that's the perfect segue. If you could give yourself one piece of advice, if you can go back in time, and you can pick a time, whatever. It could be 2 weeks ago, could be 2 days ago, could be 2 hours ago, could be 10 years ago. If you can go back at one point in your life, what time would it be, and what would you tell yourself?
Oh, good God, that's a good question.
Because I always am telling myself, you know what? Like, if I only knew what I know now, you know what? Then this would have happened. I'm always playing the woulda, coulda, shoulda, which is probably really unhealthy, to be honest. But sometimes I feel like it kind of puts you in a really good perspective of things.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. The only thing I wish I would have changed or told myself or probably learned more of is how to be more financially stable. granted, yes, my parents did teach us a lot about finances in the sense of like my dad running his business and how to write a check and how to balance a checkbook. But they never told me how to get that money to stay in my account. That's a really hard one. I feel like had I been a little bit more, and that could just be me too. I'm a horrible with money. If I have it, I'll spend it. And that was something that kind of like, had I been better at that, maybe things would have been different. Maybe I'd have my business right now at this point. But it's a learning experience for me at this point. So now that is something that I've actually taught my kids a lot of. Save your money, learn how to invest it. I invest a lot in stock right now. I invest a lot in Bitcoin. So Bitcoin stock, it's working for me. So I've been doing a lot of stocks recently and kind of figuring out where to add and change my money and all of it. So that has helped a whole lot now, but it's also now that's part of like this generation. Like it's cool to save your money. It's cool to be in stocks. These are things that kids are learning now that I'm like, okay, cool. Like
People want to be entrepreneurs.
Yes,
right.
People want businesses. And I have a lot of people in my life who have their own businesses. So I have gotten inspired. And it's crazy because a lot of the people in my life who have their own businesses are women. And so I've watched their journey. My cousin Crystal, she runs Legacy Fitness downtown, and she does fitness center. She has her own fitness center now. She trains women how to get a hourglass figure.
That's awesome.
She just took on her first man, and he's lost 70 pounds in the last few months. And
Dang.
she's like, now I know how to work out a man's body too. Like she's evolving, like she's learning more. She started strictly with women, and now she's got a whole class. I mean, I take her class twice a week, and she kills me. She's good. My sister just started her business last year. She has a clothing company called Mercafella, and she makes clothing. Like she didn't make this shirt, but she makes a lot of my shirts. I love graphics. Like I love funny shirts. I love people. I love a conversation starter because I love to talk to people. Wherever I go, someone's like, your shirt. And I'm like, I know, it's crazy. Like, and then it just hits. Like it's a conversation starter. And that's what I love. I love to stand out. I love to be crazy. Like that's just me. Like I bought crazy glasses this next round because it's a conversation starter. People love my glasses. People love my shoes. People love my clothes. Like it's just something that is me. I've always been like that colorful. That's Misty. You'll know Misty when you see her. That's her.
Yeah, you bringing up finances is huge. Honestly, I can relate to that so much. Like, same thing for us. Like, I feel like there's a lot of different scenarios where we learn the hard way. And honestly, that's probably why we're so well with certain aspects of it today is because we did learn the hard way. And there are certain aspects that I wish I would have learned a little bit earlier. So that's huge. And
I feel like for as long as I've known you, you've always been into like side hustles. What are you doing now?
My side hustle right now is Color Street. So I do Color Street nails. That's been fun. That's actually been the funnest one I've done. I've always had a side hustle.
What do you do? What is it?
What is it exactly?
So Color Street is nails. It's nail polish, but it's on a strip. So you don't have to paint your nails. It's instantly dry. It's a bottom coat, it's a polish, it's a top coat. You peel it off, you stick it on, and it lasts for, I don't know, some girls get these to last 28 days. I've only had it last like 14 days on me.
Wow, that's still pretty good though.
But it's nail polish, and like, it's because like I love to paint my nails and do these things, but like to sit there and paint your nails and have kids and have to go to work and then try to figure out how to dry them. You're sitting there, not being able to touch anything.
And that's acrylic nails, right?
No, this is actually just nail polish. It goes over your real nails.
Oh.
Yes. So that's what's nice is I don't have to go into a salon.
Then do all that stuff is what you're saying. Oh,
yes. Okay. And then.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah. Like, so you can stick it on and it's instantly dry. Like if you follow me on my Facebook, I do Facebook, Instagram.
What's your Facebook tag?
So it's actually a VIP page. So it's called Misty's Magical Nails. It's a VIP and I do lives every Monday and I show how to put them on and kind of just chit chat with my people like this and, just kind of talk with people and do nails. And I give out some free sets and we play games and all kinds of stuff. Like I think that's why I've enjoyed this one so much, because I used to sell leggings before, and it was never like this. Like I guess the demand wasn't there. So like somebody buys leggings from you, they don't need another pair for a little while. You know what I mean? Like they're not into it like that. With these nails, everybody needs a new set every week.
Yeah.
She needs a new one every weekend. Hey, there's a new event. I need a new
like
color.
that.
So it's a different turnaround. It's
That's cool.
exciting, and it's not the same thing. Like I'm not selling just red nail polish. Like it's
Always different.
designs. There's something dropping every week. We just dropped a new one yesterday for brain cancer awareness.
Nice.
And autism awareness is coming up here soon. So they got, one coming out for that. But this one's been interesting. Like this one has been nice for me because this is something like I can randomly walk up to a girl in the store, and it's crazy because I'm looking at women's nails now all day. I go to the store, I'm like, oh, like she's got nail polish. I'm gonna go talk to her real quick.
She's like, what are you trying to say?
And I'm that crazy person though. Like I'd be like, I carry nail polish remover with me. Let me take your nail polish off and show you what I have. And that has really been like
straight hustling right there.
Yeah, like at Walmart, they had this stand the other day and it's all nail polish. So there's all these girls looking at nail polish. And I like walked over and I was like, how many, like, you guys hate waiting for this to dry, huh? And then she's like, yeah, one girl answered me, yeah, I hate waiting for my nail polish to dry. And I was like, well, you don't have to. Let me show you. And I took her nail polish off and I put one on, and then all the girls are watching. So then I just started handing out samples, and now I have almost 100 people following me on Facebook. And granted, I probably get about 15 people who watch me live, but out of those 15 people who watch me live, about 12 of them will stay for the full hour, and just conversate with me. And like I said, I'm sometimes a character, so like I love to be online. I love to be in front of people, and so it's been really fun. This one's been a really fun journey. I've made a ton of money off of it. I really did not think the turnaround would be that crazy. But yes, like first 2 weeks, I pulled $1,000 on this. Like it's very in demand. Like it's crazy. I never thought it would go that way. So I'm having super fun with this.
That's amazing though.
It's really, really cool.
That is amazing. I feel like everybody always has to start somewhere, building that community, building that brand. And then I feel like with that as well too, it's also having fun along the process. So that's huge. Like that is so inspiring. And I feel like that almost shows that there shouldn't be an excuse to, not be able to make that extra income. Yep. I feel like there's just always different, I don't know, like scenarios where, maybe you might be working a full-time job and it might not be enough. You need that extra cash flow. Yeah. So I think,
and this just leads up to what I want to do bigger. Like this is not my final goal in life of what I want to do. Mm-hmm. I do want to own a business. I do want to bring something to Greeley, and I'm just waiting on the time to do that.
1 second. Say that one more time. Not only because I want to hear you say it one more time, but you got a little bit too far away from the mic, so I just want to hear it.
It's nothing. I don't even know where I was at.
That always happens.
It's gone. Just kidding. This is not what I'm going to finish. Like this is not, there's a bigger picture. And this just helps me get to my bigger picture. I do want to bring a business here. I am going to bring a business to Greeley. I don't want to say I want to. I am going to bring a business here to Greeley. What I want to hear. And it's going to happen soon. It should have happened last year, this year, but the pandemic has really, for what I want to do, the pandemic is not working with me right now. There's a whole lot of rules and everything that has changed with everything. And so, my dream has been put back on the burner for a little while. And so eventually I'm going to get there. And that's why this is just a side hustle. Who knows? I mean, I've watched girls retire off of this color street. Like I've seen some pretty crazy stories. I see people who make a lot of money off of this. I mean, it's almost as big as like acrylic nails. Like it's something that women are willing to spend a ton of money on because it's what they want to do with their nails.
It's convenience.
Yeah, it is.
Look, if there's something that you can do that can help me get my spouse out of the bathroom, before the 2 hour mark,
that's hilarious.
That'd be amazing.
That was hard. I was saying, I don't really take that long in the bathroom either, though. I guess I can't.
Oh, really?
You know what?
So it's not a thing?
No, you know why? Because my husband takes longer than me. I normally wait on him,
I can't relate to this one.
but I also got a
God.
lot of natural beauty. So
Oh,
I can relate a lot to that one.
oh, okay.
That's
Sorry
a lot more
there.
of my
Sorry.
lane.
I really don't need that extra time. Like I said, like I'm very convinced. Like I wake up and go anywhere, and I still turn heads
Yeah,
all day.
I never put makeup on. See this?
I'm just saying,
Flawless.
We don't need it.
So what are you guys trying to say? I'm just kidding.
What?
Well,
I'm like,
I don't even tweeze
over
my
here.
eyebrows.
me either. Just kidding.
I'm all
I
bush.
actually did to come here because they were wild. I was like, this is all they're gonna look
I don't
at.
even comb these bad boys.
I always actually
natural.
try to like force him, like, let me plug your eyebrows.
Just,
Let
like,
me
backs
just
me in a
like clean
corner.
them up.
She like backs me up in a corner.
Oh,
So I'm just like trying to get.
I actually do my husband's.
See, it's normal. It's
I get it.
normal.
I
Like,
know.
no. I was like, you got a little uni coming in. I can help you.
I got you.
I got this. Steven, you got hair
I'm
growing on your
experienced.
eyelid. Let
So
me
you're just like, I know
catch
that you might not care. I don't care, but your kids
They do.
do it for the kids.
My kids won't even let me do their eyebrows. And you know what's crazy is my boys, all of my boys have beautiful lashes and eyebrows. And I'm like, God dang it, what happened? Like, why didn't I get any of them? Like, none of these girls ever have like naturally beautiful eyelashes and eyebrows. It's
I know.
always the boys.
Yeah.
It's always the men who have these beautiful
Right.
eyebrows, beautiful eyelashes.
Seriously.
I don't understand.
Like your eyelashes are actually really long.
I know. I was like, yours are long.
Yeah, mine hit my glasses, so I always have to make sure that they're.
Got to get a curler because mine hit my glasses.
That's what I
Just
tell
curl
him
'em
too.
up.
You should start taking advice from me.
See?
More
Sometimes when I wake up, they're really curled. You know what I mean?
because you've just been
Just on
sleeping
that
on
one side. I was like, just on that one side, though. you got to sleep on the other side now. Rotate. Like, you got to have an alarm. Half on one side, half on the other side.
Right? Got to switch it up.
It's time to wake up now.
I feel like this was amazing, and I want to thank you for coming on,
Yeah, thanks
giving
for
us your
having me.
time, and yeah, I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, this was really easy to talk to you. We could have talked forever.
I know.
I know. It's so funny. I was like, what did Cindy say? Like an hour? She's like, half an hour. I was like, I told Cindy, I was like, I talk too much for a half hour. I was like, we'll see if we can make that work. But
Normally, people are like, I don't even know if I can hold a conversation for 20 minutes.
Right.
And then we go for 4 hours. And I'm
Yeah.
just like, you
and
know
it's
what?
like,
We
Yeah.
held that conversation.
yeah.
yeah, no,
thanks.
I pretty much warn people. I'm like, I talk a lot. You're gonna be here all night. I got stories on stories. Like I have a neighbor who she's consistently like knocking on my door, and I'm not the person to be like, she knows I'm there. My car is there, and obviously my car is there. But she's constantly at my door, and she's like, you know, Jesus loves you. He wants you to come to this meeting tonight. But like, she knows that I'll sit there and hold a conversation with her. But she also knows that my conversation is like, well, who is this Jesus? Why do you believe
So
in
you
him?
entertain it.
Yeah, like, and it's
She's like, I need to go over there. She needs
That's
it. She needs it. Yeah, I'm going to take the Bible this time. I don't think she knows what it is.
she has. She's like brought over and like cards, and you're like, this is like, do you know where we're? And I was like, oh, I know where you're located. I pass it all the time. I see it every day, girl. Like, I don't know. Like, it's hard though, because then like you get those people who really feel like you're interested in what they have to say. But in some sense, like I really am kind of, with some people, I'm just entertaining the thought of us having a conversation for a few moments. But yeah, like sometimes it brings people back that you kind of don't want to have conversations with sometimes. Because I have had a few people who like kind of push the limits with me on asking me about like the number thing and like the conspiracy thing, but sometimes that turns into argument, and I don't like to
Right.
argue with people.
Right, right.
Like I'd rather have a conversation than to sit
Right.
here defending myself all day
Yeah.
with you.
Right.
Some people like to
But
get
you
me
can
to
catch
the
the
point.
vibes. Like where it's
Yes.
like the intentional, like, what do you mean you don't go to church? Just like,
Yes.
I didn't go last Sunday. I was editing. I don't know.
Sinner.
Exactly, yeah.
Yes. So it has been like a few of my neighbors, they think I'm crazy or a little over the top, but it actually like helps me in business. So even with like Sterling Heights, working at the apartment complex, I can pull people in pretty quick and like, I could sell you, you know what I mean? Like I can sell anything.
Yeah.
That's just me. But that's also because I know how to talk to people. I've also been through a lot in life, and so I relate to a lot of people. I've seen a lot in life, so I can help a lot of people. And that's always been my goal in life, is to help people. That's why I became a nurse, because I wanted to help. And now what I'm doing to help is I find people houses.
Yeah.
You know, like people get their first places with me. I'm helping them do that. I've always just been a helper. I want to watch people succeed. And that's why I want to own a business. I have a lot of nieces and nephews. I want them to all be able to work under me at some point, to have their first job, to get themselves going, to just hold on to that until they're ready to do what they're ready to do. Like my oldest niece right now, she's 17. She's becoming a nurse. And she's already in college classes, and she hasn't even graduated yet. Like, she's doing really well. And then the rest of them like really don't know what they're doing yet, but that's because they're younger. Like they haven't gotten to that point. And so I can step in and provide them their first jobs while they're going through high school, or while they're, going through. And then in the second sense, they're helping me because I trust my nieces and nephews. This is not, giving a random person a job where I'm like, are they going to destroy my stuff?
Right.
Are they going to care for my business as much as I care for my business?
Right.
Yeah.
And I know that my kids and my nieces and nephews.
It's liability versus.
Right.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So we'll see how that turns out for me this year. It's big this year. Me and Steven really, we don't want to work for people anymore. Like it's
feel
not,
that.
yeah.
I feel that.
Yes. Like we don't want to do it
Preaching
anymore.
To the choir. Yeah, seriously.
We want to be on our own. We want to enjoy life on our own and enjoy the things that we want to do. And even if that's not like.
What it is it's control.
Yeah.
I want to be steering the ship.
Yep.
Whatever this is. I just want to feel like I'm in control, man. There's just so much chaos.
Yes.
And that's the hard part. So, but we're all on our path.
Yeah.
And you're saying this is going to be the year. Like, honestly, I hope you the best.
Thank you.
This year has been amazing for us. Like, so it's the year. It's
is.
in the vibes. It's for everybody. So it's going to happen. Like,
I
that's
believe
what it
so.
is. So
We'll get there. And even if these laws don't change and I have to push it out a little bit, I mean, I don't know. I feel like the laws are getting back to whatever the
we're
norm.
creeping out of it.
Yeah, like it's
We're
kind
there.
of getting there.
Just there on the tipping point.
Yeah, I was gonna say, they always say history repeats itself, and
Right.
Spanish flu was the last time all this happened. It lasted for 3 years. We're on year 2. Let's
get the fuck out of
right.
this.
Like
All over.
we've evolved.
Yeah.
Let's make it 2, not 3.
Yeah.
But we'll see where the rest of this year goes for us. There's really no determination on what you guys are doing in life, and who says you have to have a kid by the time you're 30, and who says you have to do this. You guys work at your own pace, and when you're ready for that step, that's when you're gonna take it. I've always told Cindy, like, you guys just enjoy each other, and when you are fully ready to be one with each other and take on that role, then that's when you'll do it. And nobody's going to tell you that it's the perfect timing, and nobody's going to tell you that it's okay and that you can't do it.
Right.
Nobody has that right over your guys' relationship. This is you two working at it. Ain't nobody going to be there when you guys are falling down to pick you guys up. It's you two who are going to do it. Nobody's going to be there to push you guys through it. It's you two who bring you through it. And that's why I say, like, kids will change that too, though. Like, you guys can have the strongest relationship you want.
Yep.
Once you have a kid, it changes things.
And that's been one of the biggest arguing points that I've had thrown at me. So
Yeah.
But no, honestly, like,
kids are crazy. They always like, you know what I mean? Like, and it's because even though you guys have been together for so many years, you know each other, how you are, you have no idea how you'll be as parents.
right.
And that one's hard because you have, like moms who become moms and they're like super crazy. Like, nope, you're not going to say anything to my son. It's not going to happen. You didn't know that side of her.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I didn't know you were crazy over this kid. Like, I didn't know you were going to bite my head off if I told him no. It's different. Like, you got to learn how to parent with. And that's why I say we separate ourselves from our kids. I have watched children destroy marriages and have these two individuals who absolutely loved each other just separate because they could not handle being parents together. And so that's where we separate. I can't lie. Like, we have had arguments over our children. Like, we have truly, fully gone head to head with each other over our kids. And at that moment is when we realize and sit back and like, why are we fighting over this? This is not anything that has to do with us. Like, we got to figure out what this situation is for our son and leave it at that. This does not have anything to do with our marriage. And we're not going to fight each other and cause this wedge between us over a situation that happened with our son. Especially because the situation is going to end up being stupid in the long run.
Right.
He's going to forget it. We're going to forget it. We're all going to move on in life. But at the end of the day, like if me and Steven are still upset at each other over this one situation, like that can put a burden in between us.
Yeah.
So we really don't.
No,
and
that's
our
perfect.
kids know that. Our kids truly know, like we will not argue and fight over them. It just doesn't happen anymore.
But I
Like-
love that though. I feel like not a lot
Yeah.
of people have that type of perspective. And
It's just a healthy base.
yeah.
Oh,
You
yeah.
have to have a healthy base.
Yes.
No, I love that. That's
Yes.
perfect.
Especially because you have to like realize that in the end of the day, yeah, your kids grow up and then they create their own relationships on their own. And who are you left with? Your
My
husband
spouse.
or your wife?
Yes, it's just me and Steven.
Mm-hmm.
And we go through it together, and that's how it's going to always be. Not that we don't like love our kids and put them first most of the time. We do put them first a lot of the time, but we also know that we put our relationship first too. Like there are times like when our kids are like, no, we want to go out as a family. Like this is mine and your dad's moment. Like I know y'all want to go to dinner with us, but this is our dinner date. And we take our kids individually. You know, I take Tremaine by himself. I take Cameron by himself. So they realize like I do spend time with them individually. I do get to know who they are as their own person.
Well, it's balance.
Yeah.
It's balance. It's communication. It's boundaries.
All of it.
You have to fill in the blanks. If you're not filling in the blanks, you're pushing something aside. And
Yes.
but the hard part is finding out what those blanks are. If you can figure out what those blanks are, it gives you a roadmap of how to make everything else easier.
So again, thank you so much for coming on,
Yes. Thank you for
giving
having
us
me.
your time. And
I'll bring Steven back next time. You guys can
yes,
talk.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
I think that would be something that
we
would
need
be
to
pretty
have a
fun.
conspiracy podcast. I would love that. I would.
I've actually
think we
told
can
him
go
he needs
ham
to
on that.
start his. He wants to do not necessarily a podcast, but like a Patreon for his number stuff.
Ooh.
Because he
like a channel?
does, yes, yeah, because he does like to give out, who the winning teams are. Like he likes to help
Ooh,
other
okay,
people
okay,
be
okay.
successful and win money too. Like he's really good at it. He has not gotten one game wrong this week, and he makes pretty good money off of it.
Well, if you guys want to start something that's somewhat similar to what we have here, and if you have any questions, ask us.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
for sure.
I think this is so cool that y'all do this. Like
Absolutely. Thank you.
I'm actually really proud of y'all. Like this was super. When I heard this, I was super excited. Like I was like, I gotta find out where they're at. The only thing you guys don't have is a Facebook, and so like I
know.
haven't been able
Yeah.
to move that one around because I do Facebook a lot, like for my business.
Oh,
So
right. Yeah.
yeah, so I was like, well,
We're close. We're on Instagram.
yeah,
But
yes. You guys gonna make the platform bigger anywhere else? You guys gonna stick it to?
I don't
this?
know.
I don't know. I feel like
same
I just use
makes
Instagram
sense.
a lot, and
thing. I don't even have a Facebook.
No.
So I have one, but we haven't been on since like, I don't even, middle high school, maybe. I don't even. So
Yeah,
I don't
still have
know.
a MySpace
I don't
that I
even think
use.
about it. I know, right? Yeah. We just post everything on MySpace. So I hope everything is.
Yes.
No.
yeah, I mean, who knows? Maybe in the future, but as of right now, our focus is Instagram.
Nice.
Yeah. So
Good too.
we'll see. We're kind of just cruising with this thing, kind of going with the flow. We like how it's kind of been going so far. So
Yeah, it's been fun.
yeah, this kind of has all been bigger than what we had originally imagined.
Yeah.
That's
so,
true.
So yeah,
Good.
we are also along for the ride,
Yeah.
Nice.
to be honest. So
Heck yeah,
yeah, we're
shoot.
kind of just going with it.
Let's see where it takes you.
Yeah.
So it
Oh,
brought
yeah.
us here. So
I
again,
know.
thank you for giving us the time.
Yeah.
I
Of course.
appreciate it a lot. I feel like I took a lot of things from this. So
Definitely.
thank
well,
you.
I hope I didn't talk your ear off too much.
No,
Not at all.
No,
Not at all.
absolutely
That's
not.
why we got the platform.
Yeah,
Good too.
that's what we're here for. So
All right. Well, thank you, amigos, for tuning in. Make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube and follow us on Instagram. We actually did do a giveaway, so make sure you look into that. And there's going to be a lot more fun things coming in the future.
yeah. So if you want a free hat, some overnight oats, if you want $125 off of your next tattoo,
That's pretty
crazy.
dope. Yeah.
and a special little gift that we have for you guys that we're keeping a secret. Make sure you get entered into that giveaway. Otherwise, we'll see you guys next week.
Yeah. Thank you, amigos.
Peace out. See ya. And actually, before we get out of here, I wanted to try something that we haven't tried before. But I thought that it was kind of cool, inspired by the fact that you met your husband through a prank call.
Oh.
We haven't tried this before. If you're down, can we prank call your husband?
Let's do it.
All right, hold
That
on.
actually would be pretty funny.
See if
Hit
he
the
even-
Bluetooth button on the
see if
road
he
over
even
there.
answers.
He's gonna be like,
This is not right.
I don't know if this is gonna work. So
wait, who's gonna
hopefully-
talk?
I think we should all be able to talk. So let's just go with it. Should we have a
Gosh.
subject? What is something that he would like talk about on the phone?
That's just like super.
If I'm
crazy.
like, I just wanted to give you an extended warranty on your Chevy SS, right? Is that what he drives?
Yeah.
I just wanted to give you an extended warranty on you. No. We could be like, hey man, I work at a dealership. My name is Anthony. No. My name is Juan. I work at a dealership, and I noticed that you have a Chevy SS. We are looking for one right now. I have a customer that is willing to pay top dollar for that
Yes.
car right
He's
now.
gonna be like,
What do you think that it's worth? You think that it's worth 15 grand? That's funny because I saw that you recently got it serviced, and what we would be willing to pay is this much
I'm like,
more.
might as well just make
Should I
the
try to get
call.
him in on it? Okay,
Yes.
okay, all right. Let's just
You
try
know
this.
what? If he tries to, if you actually go with that and try to sell that car, I'd be crazy.
Really?
Yeah, he
We're gonna be doing you a favor.
He swore. No, I love that car.
Oh, okay.
He swore that he would never get rid of this car.
Dang,
Yes,
okay,
that's
all right,
why
let's
he's
see
like,
here.
no, we'll have it forever.
Okay,
Like, okay.
let's see if we can get this.
Yeah, that's
Damn, that would have been so cool.
been.
All right.
Sometimes I'll say he's not eating gluten free. He's gluten free right now.
Hello?
Hello?
Hello, is this Steven?
Yeah. Who's this?
Hey, yeah, my name is Juan. I'm outside with your pizza.
Outside with my pizza.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I was just knocking on the door. Nobody was answering.
Are you sure? What house are you at?
Here, hold on. Let me see if I can see a color.
What car is outside?
There's like a Chevy SS outside.
All right. All right. Hold on, man. Who ordered this pizza, man?
It's just under Steven.
And what? Okay. Hold on, man. Let me.
All right.
All right. Hold on.
All right.
And this is weird.
Yeah, nobody was just answering the door.
Okay. Where you at, man?
I'm outside. I'm like, I can see your car.
We got you. Hey, baby.
Hello? All right. All right.
That's so funny.
He's calling you. He's like, all right, what the heck is
Shoot,
going on?
hello.
Yo,
What's up?
are you fucking with me?